Every day, thousands of young girls are forcibly restrained whilst they scream and writhe in pain, as parts of their genitals are cut off with various sharp instruments. Many of them will contract HIV because the same unsterilised instrument has been used on dozens of other victims. The World Health Organization estimates that globally, 140 million girls and women are currently living with mutilated genitals. Most people react to this with a profound sense of moral indignation. And yet many think nothing of the fact that every day, thousands of young boys are forcibly restrained whilst they scream and writhe in pain as parts of their genitals are cut off. It's true many of these boys have the benefit of the procedure being performed by a trained health practitioner in an appropriate healthcare setting, but many don't. It was estimated back in 2006 that 665 million men were living with mutilated genitals, and undoubtedly that number has increased since then. The question I find myself asking is this: why is there a collective cultural cringe in the civilized world at the mere thought of female genital mutilation, but not male genital mutilation? And how is it that in America, the land of the free, that the freedom of its newborn male citizens to grow up and decide what they do to their own bodies is violated every day? The reason for this double standard, I think, is clear. Male genital mutilation has been normalized here, as female genital mutilation has been in other places. It's this normalization of genital cutting that causes many not to refer to it as genital mutilation, but euphemistically as circumcision. But the genital cutting of any child, male, female, or intersex, is genital mutilation. It's taboo to compare male circumcision with female genital mutilation, but viewing both in opposition has led to the trivialization of the mutilation of baby boys. When it comes to medical decisions, it is true that parents have a right to make decisions for their children who can't, but that right is constrained by their responsibility to protect the health and well-being of their child. And genital cutting does not enhance their health or well-being. Not one single reputable medical association in the world recommends circumcision as a preventative health measure. As a medical scientist and writer, I've grappled with the medical arguments about circumcision for years, and I'm absolutely convinced that any medical benefits are negligible, if not non-existent, depending on the specific medical claim in question. But if conformity is really of such importance to parents, they should be informed that the majority of men worldwide are not circumcised. Indeed, the World Health Organization estimates that globally only 30% of men are circumcised, of which 70% are Muslim. There are objective moral truths to be known, and it seems to me that one of the more obvious ones is that taking a sharp instrument to the genitals of an infant is an unnecessary harm, one which is therefore morally wrong. The genital mutilation of children is outrageous, and it is my hope that one day everyone will share my moral indignation for any parent that forces it on their child, any religion that endorses it by holy writ or rite, and any unctuous, insufferable moral relativist that turns a blind eye to such barbarism. I believe that by working together we can and we will eradicate the archaic practice of genital cutting. It's not going to be easy, because changing the world never is. So if you feel like giving up, remember the immortal words of Margaret Mead, who said to never doubt that a small group of determined citizens can change the world, because it's the only thing that ever has. After decades of public outreach by outstanding individuals like Marilyn Milos, the breakthrough moment for the genital autonomy movement has come, and it's up to us to seize it. We are the ones fighting to protect the human rights of defenseless children. We are the ones who have the medical evidence on our side. And we are the ones who are going to change the world for the better, because we aren't going to stop until we create a world where the bodily autonomy and integrity of every child is respected and preserved. Thank you.